Senator Paul, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Now some thoughts from senior political analyst Brit Hume on this speech. Good evening, Brit.
Hi, Brett.
What do you think?
Well, I think it was a speech in search of a purpose. I mean, after all, just ask yourself this question, Brett. What did the president ask for tonight? He came in support of a resolution that he has asked Congress to postpone. He's asking for support for an authorization for the use of force, but he didn't want to do that, and he doesn't even want him to vote on it. That's, I think the events of yesterday just overtook him. He'd asked for the time. He'd announced the speech. I think he had to go through with it. I think he did the best he could with it. But your interview with Senator Paul gave you a sense of all the different reasons that a multitude of people from various parts of the political spectrum have for opposing this action. This resolution authorizing the use of force, I think Senator Paul is correct. This was probably in trouble in the Senate, where it looked like it might pass, and it is nowhere in the House of Representatives. And I don't think anything the president did or said tonight is going to change that, since it's going to be followed by this pause, which will allow the effect of whatever he said to peter out, is going to change that.
Is your sense that there is a real hope that this diplomatic dance with Russia and Syria that's going on now is going to pan out, is going to work? Or do you think there's a real skepticism in the administration that this is going to come to pass?
Well, I think the administration has said it is skeptical. And perhaps it is skeptical. One should always be skeptical when Russia intervenes, when Moscow intervenes at a time like this. I remember back, Brett, during the run-up to the first Gulf War, even after the bombing campaign had begun to get Iraq out of Kuwait, that Moscow, I should say, was still trying to intercede on behalf of Iraq, and with various peace plans and so forth, which didn't really fill the bill. We don't know whether this Russian plan is serious. We do know that they are now began to attach conditions to it, to one of them being, of course, that U.S. forswear the use of force. One would imagine that was unacceptable to the administration. So, yeah, I think they're probably skeptical, and with good reason, but they're asking for the pause, and the pause will take some of the air out of the tire here, but it will not leave the president, in my judgment, in any better fettle with the American public or Congress if he's continuing to take the position that he must have their authorization to use force, and he won't act without it.
Last thing quickly, most effective part of the speech?
Well, I think his characterization of the horror of chemical weapons was quite effective. It is a horrible thing. There's no question about that. And the Syrian regime needs to be held to account for that. But he's asking for a pause in all of that.